Hey, it is Monday again. Whoa, my hair. My hair. It's all over the place. I'm on a weird rotation with my clothes. Do you ever get like this? I have on the same shirt I had on in the video last night because I'm on a weird rotation with my clothes. See, what happened was I took my shower yesterday. I took a shower at like, I don't know, 5 o'clock or so in the afternoon. I took a shower. And then I put on clean clothes after my shower. So these are the clothes I put on yesterday about 5-ish. And so then of course I had pajamas last night, and I didn't really consider dirty. So I just put this shirt back on. I try to cut down on laundry. I mean, this shirt is not dirty. I didn't even wear it all that long. So, but see, because what I was thinking was, I have an exercise class first thing Monday morning. I will just wear this semi-clean shirt to that class, because as soon as I get done, I'm going to go home and change, take a shower and change clothes anyway. There's no sense in starting a whole new outfit, getting it sweaty, then having to go home and change and shower. You know what I mean? Because I get tired of doing laundry. I feel like sometimes all I ever do is wash clothes. It's aggravating as hell. And I wash my clothes and my younger son's clothes. My older son does all of his own laundry, which is great. I love that. He takes care of his own clothes. There is a 92 Sentra sitting over there, almost identical to the one I used to have, except that one has 4 doors. Mine had 2, which it's rare to see those anymore. Usually the ones I see are 4-door. Sorry, squirrel, So that's why I still have this shirt on. I don't care, don't judge me. So, but originally my plan was to go home right after the class, but there was a turn of events this morning that kind of changed that. I logged onto my work computer and I had basically nothing to do. Like, I looked through all of my email, I looked through everything. There was nothing to do at that point. So I thought, well, shoot. After this class, you know what I'm going to do? Because I was thinking about doing this anyway. I thought, I want to go to Walmart and look at the Halloween candy before it gets all messed up. It's already starting to get messed up. People are already starting to buy it, So I want to go look at it before it gets totally trashed. Really, the only day this week that I know of that I could do it is like this morning. I thought I can go this morning. Every other day this week I have something else going on other than work. This is going to be a busy week for me. So I thought, well, shoot, just go after your class. I mean, just run on up there to the Taj Mahal Mart. That's the fancy Walmart in High Point. It is a little bit fancier. People laugh. It is. There's something about it. It's a little bit nicer than most of the Walmarts around here. So I call it the Taj Mahal Mart. It's the fancy Walmart. It is. It's fancy for a Walmart. I mean, that's not saying much, but So I thought, because the one thing I like about that Walmart for looking at Halloween candy, and it may be different this year, but in the past, they had all of their Halloween candy on this one long aisle. And it was a lot easier to look at than having to go up and down these little bitty aisles. Now, I don't know how loud the music is going to be. It's usually not too bad in this one. But I don't know. Sometimes it's louder. Sometimes it's like quieter. I don't know. We're going to have to go see. If it's loud, I don't really want to do a voiceover with Candy, but I may have to. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's where I'm going now. I'm going to the High Point Fancy Walmart. Now, there are 2 super Walmarts, the super centers in High Point, and then they have a couple of the small marts, the neighborhood markets. This is one of the super centers, the Taj Mahal Mart. I think people don't get shot at this one as much as the other one. There do seem to be shootings at these Walmarts up here in High Point. I don't know. The deals are just so good. People are just shooting each other. I'm not making fun, but it's just, hopefully there won't be any of that today. But I'm going to go up here. That is a big truck. Big old truck. Sorry. We're going to go look at Halloween candy. And I look like a hot mess, so I will have to record an opening and a closing segment later after I've had time to shower and, fix myself, not look so sweaty. God, my hair is sweaty. I'm gonna have to wash my hair again. When my scalp gets really sweaty like that, oh, I can't stand it. It'll make my scalp itchy. I just washed it yesterday, but I try not to wash it every day. I try to wash it like every other day. That seems to be a good schedule for me. Because I don't know, it just seems to, that works out about right for me. Anyway, I hope your day is going well so far. Mine's pretty good. My kids are off at school and the house is quiet. And it's really quiet right now because I'm not even there. This road is awful and it makes the phone bounce. I do apologize. Let's see, the fastest way to get there from here, I'm having to stop and think. You take the exit, you go up to, oh shoot, which exit is it, 65? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out the best way to get to the Sprawl Mart, the fancy Walmart. I had a thought while I was in my exercise class just a little bit ago. And I don't know if there's anything to this. Maybe. God, what are they doing here? Oh, sorry, they've done something stupid to the road. What is this? Oh, Lord. Can somebody explain to me why all of a sudden everywhere in North Carolina they are building these roads that just zigzag for no reason? Did they do this right here? You know, they used to go straight, but now they're like, why? They've done it here. I've been to other parts of the state where they've done this. What is wrong with North Carolina all of a sudden? Do they just have a bunch of extra money? They could put it into filling some of the damn potholes around here. That would be nice. They could literally just stuff money in the potholes. Basically what they do. North Carolina used to have the nicest roads in the country. We really did. We used to have beautiful roads here back in the 60s and 70s, and now they're shit. They're absolute shit. Brr. Yeah, we used to have beautiful roads here. Great roads. Not anymore. They're just nasty now. All right, how do I get to the damn shoot? Excuse me. Can I go that way? About to find out. Yeah, I reckon I can. Okay. I don't know. They're confusing me. So I had this thought. All right, now I think I know where I'm going. So I had this thought in this class, and I don't know if this is true or not. I think it's true for me, though. All right. A lot of people ask me, I've been asked this question so many times, how do you film in stores without being self-conscious? I would be so self-conscious, there's no way I could do it. Well, how do I do it without being self-conscious? Well, I'm not self-conscious. That's how. How do I do it without being self-conscious? I'm not self-conscious to start with. So that's how. And then I've had people ask me, how do you get to the point that you're not self-conscious? Well, some people have never been self-conscious. Some people just are oblivious to everything going on around them. I know people in my own life like that. Like they just, I don't know. It's like they just kind of float through life, just completely unaware of anything. It's weird. I don't know how they do that. Not self-conscious at all. Well, I used to be very self-conscious. When I was younger, I was really super duper self-conscious. And my mother was the same way. I've talked about that before. I can remember times when I was little going grocery shopping with my mother, and she would have a panic attack in the store. I mean, nothing like scary or anything, but she would feel like she couldn't breathe. She would get lightheaded. And there was a bench outside of the store, and sometimes she would just leave her cart off to the side, and we would have to go out there, and she would just sit on the bench for a minute and just kind of, she would practice, breathing and just kind of trying to calm herself down. Sometimes she would go out to the car, sometimes she would sit on the bench. But I remember her having to do that multiple times when I was little. We would have to just sit there until she calmed down, and then we would go back in and finish shopping. I used to have trouble, not to that extent. I mean, I never went through that, but I can remember feeling very anxious in public places like grocery stores, you know, Walmart, wherever I went. I felt self-conscious. Is there a dot shining on me? I don't know. It looks like there's a little dot shining. Am I about to get shot? It's like no, I think it's on the, yeah, it's on the screen. Never mind. Sorry, I'm tripping. I never got to the point that I felt like I was going to pass out or anything like that, but I can remember feeling very, very anxious and just wanting to get out of there. I would just shop as fast as possible and then just get out. I'm going to tell you what I think it was for, well, it was two things for me. I used to be really bad when I was younger, but I do remember having a moment in college, and I've talked about this before, I know. I had a moment where I got up late for class one morning. I had an 8 o'clock class, and my alarm didn't go off, and I got up late, and all I had time to do was just throw on whatever clothes were available, just close by, like, come on, we gotta go, we gotta run. And I had on like this sweater and some shorts or something, and I would never have paired these two garments, and they just looked terrible together. And I'm running across campus with my books and just freaking out and realizing, oh God, look what I'm wearing. Oh, I look so dumb. And I just had this epiphany, this moment. I can remember, I know exactly where I was on that campus when I had this moment. I could show you. I had this moment, and I just kind of stopped. And I looked around. I don't know what made me do it, but I looked around, and I realized nobody's looking at me. Nobody gives a shit what I have on. Nobody cares that my shorts and my top don't match. Nobody gives a rat's ass. Nobody. And it was a moment for me, and I never forgot that. And I will tell you the same thing. Nobody's looking at you. Nobody. And if they are, the only way you would know they were looking at you is if you're looking at them, and they're probably wondering why you're looking at them. Nobody's looking at you unless you're in there in a big bird costume juggling chainsaws. Nobody will give you a second look. And trust me, ladies, the older you get, the more invisible you become. People may look at you when you're young eventually. If you don't like being catcalled, just wait, because eventually that shit stops. And one day you will realize that never happens anymore. Yeah, because as you get older, you become invisible, which is actually kind of nice. I don't really care. Good. So you have to worry even less the older you get. Nobody's going to pay any attention to you whatsoever. So if you don't like being noticed, don't worry. You're going to get older, you're going to sag and wrinkle, and nobody will look at you at all. You will become invisible, you will fade into the background. Embrace it. It happens to everybody. Unless you're like Sophia Loren or somebody like that, and she was just always stunning. Some people just, wow, they're beautiful right up until the end. Most of us, though, we just turn into salty sea hags, and nobody gives us a second look after that. So that was a moment for me, but I still had trouble going out in public. I still felt anxious, but it wasn't as bad. I think for me, it took, and this was what occurred to me when I was in my class this morning, I think it took going through being in an abusive church and being in an abusive marriage where I was watched like a hawk all the time. Everything I did, everything I said was scrutinized to the point that I think it just broke something in me. It just broke part of my soul. And what happens to you after that occurs can determine a lot about the rest of your life. I think for me, I decided from that moment on, I was never again going to worry about what anybody thinks. I feel like I've done my time. I have spent enough time with people criticizing me, scrutinizing me, watching everything I do, everything I say, and I'm just not going to give that any more attention ever again. I have done my time, and I will no longer tolerate it from anybody. I don't know. I really do. I think it broke me, and I had to sort of remake myself, if that makes any sense. Like I had to rebuild myself after being broken into 1,000 pieces. It happened after I left the church, and it happened again when I left an abusive marriage. I had to rebuild myself because I refused to let them win. You will not beat me. You will never beat me. You could try. A lot of people have tried. You can tell me I'm going to hell. You can tell all the parishioners who are still there. You can run a smear campaign on me and some other people who left. You can say all the bad things about us you want. You can declare that I'm headed to hell. I don't care, because you are not the authority. You are not the boss. You are not in charge of anything. You are a nobody. You think you're hot shit. You really do. You think you're somebody. You're nobody. In the grand scheme of things, you are nobody. Who are you to say anything about me? And I once believed that you had authority. I once believed that you had this power of discernment, like you were this superhero. You were supernatural. I really believed that shit. For too long, I believed it. But who are you? You're nobody. You're a joke. You're a clown. You are a clown. That's what you are. And I decided the same thing leaving a marriage that broke me. Who are you? Who are you to say anything about me? You are nobody. You tried to convince me I was nobody. I was worthless. I was ugly. No one loved me. I was stupid. I was fat. I was useless. You tried so hard to convince me that I was worthless. You were the one who was worthless. And I will no longer take my cues from you to determine who I am. And if I'm not going to take it from these significant people in my life, why would I take it from people in a store? They don't matter either. They don't matter. So even if somebody looks at you weird, which I don't know why they would, what does it matter? What does it matter? It doesn't matter. Never mind the fact that nobody in there is looking at you. Can you describe 5 people that you saw the last time you went in a store? Can you describe one person? Can you tell me what they were doing? Probably not, because you weren't paying any attention to them. And that goes both ways. They weren't paying attention to you either. So maybe it takes being broken to finally, you have to hit bottom before you realize the truth of the matter. And the truth I discovered was I can live my life and be myself without fear of judgment from anyone. And you can live without fear of judgment when you realize their judgment doesn't matter in the first place. So even if they judge you, it doesn't matter. You can live without fear. It doesn't affect anything about your life unless you want it to. I no longer want it to, so it doesn't. And all of a sudden, all that power that abusive people have, all their power is gone. You have no power here anymore. You don't matter. You know, I see you for what you are. You wear a mask, and the whole world, when they meet you, they think you're great. They believe you're shit because they don't know you. But that mask falls away, and I see you for what you are. And I realize you're a clown. You're just a fucking clown. I can't believe I spent so much time and energy investing my time and energy in worrying about what you thought of me. Trying so hard to get the approval from you that I would never get. You will always find fault. I will never win your approval. I will never be good enough. I will never be perfect enough for you to not see me as disgusting. And that's your problem. So don't reach a breaking point. Don't hit bottom. I want you to know today that you don't have to feel that way. And I know it's not as simple as turning off a switch. I know it's not. Maybe you do have to be broken to see it. I don't know. I think for me that's what it took. It took hitting bottom before I realized the real truth of the matter. So the people don't matter. They don't matter. They don't have to matter if you don't want them to. So that is my message today. You're awesome. You are awesome. And you don't need to spend so much time worrying about what other people think. Even when I made a video out there touching grass. Oh, I bet her neighbors were thinking something about her. Burp, 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 burp. So? That's my answer to you. So what? So what? I will go out there and do it again. I don't give a shit. It didn't even occur to me to wonder what they were thinking until some, people kept saying it in the comments. And it makes me mad. Like, why do you give a shit anyway? Why do you care what my neighbors think? I don't care what my neighbors think, and I live right beside them. Fuck them if they got a problem with it. Hey, look at it this way. You giving people something to talk about. My neighbor was doing something stupid. You gave them something to fill their empty lives. You gave them a moment of a chuckle. Hey, look at that. They've done the same for me. I've seen my neighbors outside doing stuff like, what the hell are they? What the hell is he doing? Yeah, and then I go on about my day. I don't think about it anymore. I'm not sitting around, writing a book about it or anything. Nah, people give way too much. They put way too much energy into worrying about what other people think of them. The sad fact is no one's thinking about you. Nobody's looking at you. It's kind of self-centered to think that everyone is paying attention to you. They're not. They're really not. So that is my message for a happy Monday. Also, I wanted to mention, if you want to learn more about narcissism and narcissists, 2 great channels would be Dr. Ramani, Ramani. She is awesome. I love her channel. She puts out a lot of great content every day. And I think it's called Surviving Narcissism is the other channel with Dr. Les, L-E-S, Carter, C-A-R-T-E-R. He's great too. I mean, there are a lot of great channels that you can watch their stuff and learn about narcissism, but those are my 2 favorite, is Dr. Ramani and I think it's Surviving Narcissism, Dr. Carter. Great stuff, great stuff. And you can learn a lot. Even if you don't think you have a narcissist in your life, it's still interesting to learn about it. I have a degree in psychology, and I don't remember even once ever discussing it in any of my classes. Narcissistic personality disorder. I don't remember ever discussing it. If we did, it was probably very brief. I think there is a narcissism epidemic in this world, and you probably have some in your life and you don't realize it, but you start learning about it and it's like, oh my God, that's like so-and-so. Ugh. Yeah. Oh, they're insufferable. Oh dear God. But once you start learning about them, you can learn how to better deal with them. And that's another thing they talk about in a lot of their videos, is how to deal with these people, because they're insufferable. They're horrible. Oh, but they will help you learn how to deal with them. So yeah, Dr. Ramani and Dr. Les Carter, Surviving Narcissism. I've learned a lot from them. And once you learn how to talk to them and deal with them, it can really make your life better. Especially if the narcissist is somebody you have to be around a lot. Yeah, it really helps. So I am off to the Taj Mahal Mart to try to do some candy. Look at some candy. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday. And I will see you again soon.